think I got it that time. Yes, the air drumming is on point. Grand Rising, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Huddle. My name is Chase Steele Gray. It is such an honor to be here today, as it is every day on Daily Huddle, because I know we're going to come with some stuff and leave with some other stuff, which is amazing, amazing. So, my name is Chase Steele Gray. If you've never been with us, welcome. Whoever has told you about this Zoom or this call must really, really care about you, because we always dive deep into some amazing concepts. I'm a singer, a dancer, an actor, a host, a hand maker, an engager. If you don't know anything about me, I'm just giving you my quick Dun and Bradstreet. I love people. I love connectivity. And whatever I can learn from any human being is golden to me. But enough about me. I want to make sure that I read this incredible bio because it's just powerful. Today we have a very special guest with us. Her name is Patricia Lewis, rather known as Melo Gía. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. She was born and raised in the island of Puerto Rico. She began her artistic journey painting, sculpting at Central High School for Visual Arts, while spending her evenings singing and playing the violin at Puerto Rico's Music Conservatory Youth String Program since the age of 7. The early knowledge of the arts led her acquiring a scholarship and business bachelor's degree from Berklee College of Music, while also becoming a professional tattoo artist in New York and LA for the past 6 years. She now works at Valley's first all-female tattoo specializing in color, black, and gray realism. As for her music, she has performed with big hitters in the Latin industry such as Bad Bunny, Karol G, Pedro Capo, Christian Castro, Amanda Miguel, Danny Rivera, and toured with international reggae band and Latin Grammy Award winners Cultura Profética. Daughter to Puerto Rican mother, African-American father from Philadelphia, Melo Gía has set off on a journey of putting together a musical style that best describes who she is, down to her Latin and African-American roots, sung in 3 languages. She's a bad mother. Bohemian Soul is a fresh new sound painted in a canvas with all the colors of her Latin and American musical influences, a mix of soul, jazz, reggae, bossa nova, Latin pop, bohemian ballads. Her clean, melodic voice, broad register, and the ability to translate emotion into song through heartfelt stories leaves no doubt as to why people call her Melo Gía. Ta-da!
Hi guys, hello, good
Why do I
morning.
feel like reading that was such a great accomplishment? Like my body's cleansed. That was
Oh my goodness.
woo! That was good. I feel good now. I can do anything today.
Oh
So
my goodness.
I know, rock star, right? I'm telling you, this is you heard it first. You're gonna see her and go, "Oh my God, she was on the huddle." Watch. Remember I said that to you. So, um, what's going
Hey,
on? How are you?
I'm doing great. Good morning. Thanks for having
Excellent.
me, Chase.
Excellent. You know it. You know how we do it. You know our connection. You know how I feel about you. I have a broad group of artistic friends, but I have some very specific ones, and you are definitely one of those. So I appreciate you. So, of course, it's Wednesday. We talk about health, we talk about wellness, we talk about vitality. And this topic, how to work for your body so your body can work for you,
Hmm.
it's a great play on words, and someone might read it and think different things, which is great. And I want you to just get us to that point. Why this topic and what does it mean to you?
Well, I think one of the biggest lessons I've had as a performer and as an artist in the past, especially in 2023,
Hmm,
was to take care of my body above anything else.
right.
Just because, as when we're young, we're vital. We just don't, sometimes we don't think about our health when we're young because we're so new to this world and our bodies are so new. So we're just, it's like whatever, don't we eat anything and we don't sleep and all that stuff. But as we grow older and we're out here like hustling and chasing this bag and making our dreams come true and all that stuff, we tend to forget that the body is really working for us every day. And like the most minimal, simple things that you probably don't pay attention to until something
You
happens,
have to, right?
until the body says, hey, I can't take it anymore, but you're pushing me too hard. You're not paying attention to me. You're not giving me sleep. You're not giving me the nutrition I need. You're not giving me the downtime, the meditation, all that stuff, the mental health, the emotional health that I need in order for me to work for you. um I went through that experience last year. As you read, I'm a tattoo artist. I work a lot with my body. I work a lot with my hands. I'm an instrumentalist. I play two instruments, the violin and the guitar. So I've been using my hands for a long time. And my body said I can't do it anymore. And
Right.
I had a nerve injury and I wasn't able to work for 8 months. And
Mm.
for those 8 months, I couldn't play instruments. I couldn't tattoo. Uh, and so it was like it was a huge reality check for me that I was working myself too hard. And if I didn't take care of my body, of course, my body wasn't going to be working for me. I
Right.
wasn't gonna be paying these bills. I wasn't going to be making these dreams come true if I didn't pay attention to the body.
What was when when you got into that point where you couldn't use your hands?
Mhm.
What was your first go-to? Was it books? Was it listening more to music? Was it being with your partner? What was it? Like, what was the thing you're like, okay, now this is the thing I have to do?
That's a really good question. I think honestly, my first reaction was to shut down because
Right.
I was in denial. Like
Mm.
I couldn't believe that my hand didn't fall off, I
Yeah, yeah,
wasn't bleeding or anything, but all of a sudden I couldn't twist my hand, I couldn't do
yeah,
simple
yeah.
things, I couldn't pick things up, I couldn't use the pen. So obviously I went to a little bit of a depression at the beginning.
Mm.
Once I realized, okay, so this is going to be my reality for I don't know how long. The neurologist told me, like, you're just going to have to stop doing what you're doing. You have to find another career. You got to figure it out. Um, it really forced me to get in another headspace.
Mm.
So nutrition, meditation. I did obviously therapy, but I did sound healing, a lot of sound healing, frequencies while I was sleeping. And I did acupuncture because I met somebody that said, hey, I went through the same thing. Acupuncture is the
Yeah.
best.
Excellent. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Don't listen to these doctors. It's not true.
Right.
Not
Well,
true.
it's over. Got to find a new career. That's so easy to say, isn't it?
Oh, like what? Yeah, but I overcame it and I'm
Right.
okay now and I'm back to working. But it was a huge lesson, very huge lesson last year. And I just
Right.
wanted to share that experience with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we know as artists that we are experts at breaking through, going around and jumping over walls. It's like this business is built to keep us out. A friend of mine told us that. It's only the people who are razor focused who get forward. And I like to bring these messages about perseverance and diligence to the huddle because we see it from the lens of artists. But these are lessons for any human beings. I bring my high level artist friends on here because I believe each one of them has singular lessons that help human beings that may not be artists or even in any kind of realm of artistry. um, you mentioned meditation. When you meditate, do you meditate through a voice speaking, or do you just go into a place with music with no like just atmospheric music? What's your choice of?
I did both. I did guided meditation, especially for healing the body, for the nervous system. And I also did meditation on my own,
Mm.
um, because the mental space was the first thing. And I had met people, thank God, God put a lot of people in front of me that had gone through something similar to me and got over it. I met this bass player who read this book, and I am going to figure out the name for
Oh,
you.
I gotta know. You can't do that to me. I gotta know.
I'm sorry. Um, I
It's all
will
right.
look it up for you.
You
I'm so
can get
sorry.
back to me.
But it's about the mental, it's a psychologist that talks about how most of his clients that went through, his patients that went through the same thing, got over it when they changed their mindset. So it was all a mindset.
Back to the mind again.
Yeah, back to the mind again. I realized that the reason why I got the injury was because I was sleeping very tense.
Uh,
I was sleeping like this, and I would wake up in the morning. I was like, why am I so tense? My jaw was clenched and all that stuff. So I was going through a lot of stress, and it was showing while I was sleeping to the point where I hurt myself. I was so clenched up, and I slept on my wrist like this. When I woke up in the morning, it was the nerve was pinched, and my whole arm. swole up, and it didn't go down for 8 months. So stress was a huge factor of why the muscles were so clenched. And that's something that I spoke about with my therapist. And I was incredible. I was like, oh, so you're saying that because of my mindset, my body was responding with tension and I hurt myself.
Oh yes. Oh
Got
yes.
it.
Isn't
Got
that
it.
amazing how that connects all the time?
Yeah.
Just a quick story. I have a friend who recently, I just spoke to her yesterday. She's actually in LA too. Um, she woke up and half of her body felt numb or whatever, and the side of her face felt weird, her smile. And I'm like, you got to go get checked right away. You know, like a pre-Bell's palsy or possibly had a mini stroke in her sleep. And we were talking about the same thing. We were saying the stress. She just had a huge breakup. She just had to move her house to another place, like all this crazy stuff. And again, this connecting of the mental to the physical, it's a big thing, right? Just as the opposite. You ever realize when you meet somebody that you really like, and when you're around them, you feel all tingly and nice and high and floaty, and everything just feels so different all of a sudden. You're like, oh my God, this bread is amazing. This juice, wow. You're like, what are you doing? It's
Yeah.
that thing that just happened to you with the connection of the other person, which is one of the reasons why I come here on the huddle, because I want people to feel my energy. I want to feel their energy, and let's go out into the world, do something different, right?
Mm.
What would you say about um, as far as uh, food choices and things that you put into your body? What were your like champions during that time? The things that soothed you, the things that were like, oh my God, this is so good. I'm feeling better. I'm glad I have this thing. What is that?
Water.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said it. Ta-da!
Cheers.
Right?
Yes, yes, water. I was doing long tattoo sessions and I wasn't drinking water. And it's something really, really it's common in the tattoo industry to just work 8 hours, 12 hours and not take a break because you love what you're doing and you're just like, and then we don't pay attention to our backs and our backs are aching. It's you have to go into a place of like, no, I have to really stop. This is enough. I'm not gonna push myself. I'm gonna drink water.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't drinking enough water, so I was like, okay, water, 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 water. Anything that was gonna bring down the inflammation. So lemons, oranges, a lot of ginger, turmeric, anything that would bring down my inflammation, I would eat or do or
All
what.
the champions. You said all the ones I knew you would say, right? One of
Mm-hmm.
my favorite expressions, I started saying it a long time ago. If you're confused about what to put in your body, water, 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 greens, 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 colors, colors, colors.
Colors,
You
colors.
can't go wrong with that. You can't.
No.
I don't care what your health is. You can't go wrong with that. Your body's gonna be like, wow, what do we? Okay, this is different. So
The
I
processed food, I'm
think
sorry to interrupt you. Oh my God.
no, go
Uh,
ahead.
the processed foods that we eat
Yeah,
daily, that are just marketed to us every day, it's amazing the harm that they do. They're so inflammatory.
correct.
So I had to stop eating all of that stuff, and I saw a huge difference.
What was your go-to? What was the thing you haven't had in a long time? You were like, I just can't have you anymore. Do you have that? One of those?
Burgers, pizza,
Burgers.
yeah, alcohol. I had
Do
to
you
stop
not, are you not consuming any alcohol right now?
very little,
Very little.
very, very little. But
Interesting.
as a musician, we were we're close to alcohol 24/7.
Right, right.
And we don't realize that we're not supposed to drink more than maybe 2 or 3 glasses
One or two.
a
Right, right.
week, a week, a
Right.
week.
Oh, well, see, that's impossible for a lot of musicians I know. I'm a non-alcoholic completely.
Good,
I'm
good
not
for you.
drinking, but that's that's rare in our industry. You're right. I could
Yeah.
have been a junkie by now if I didn't pay attention to what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing where right now, especially now, where we're I feel like we're at an apex of stress, doubt, trauma, infliction of pain from such and such and such and such. More than any other time that I've ever known, I've heard more people talking about the word trauma, right? More than ever.
Yes,
And,
true.
and to put another word in that sentence, trauma, cancer. I haven't heard those two words more in my entire life than I have in the last 2 years. When
Wow.
you are dealing with your everyday life And I like talking to you because we've had so many wonderful conversations over the last few years.
Mhm.
We have such multifaceted lives. We want to do so many things. In your particular position or where you are with the things that you do, how do you best deal with trauma, if any, that you're going through? Are
Mhm.
there books that you're reading? Do you call your friends? Do you take walks? Like how? I always want to ask this question to people most recently. How are you dealing with your trauma?
Good question. I think I've been through a journey. My friends have been a huge part of me processing my life, but I don't want to put them, no, I don't want to put too much on them. So I am starting to look for a therapist. I've
Mhm.
never done I don't think I've done therapy consistently. But so before that, I went through a healing journey. I did workshops. I did catharsis workshops, which was really interesting, which was so necessary. I didn't even realize how necessary it was to do stuff like that. Things where you punch a bag and you bring out all of the anger
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
have. I was when I finished punching that bag, the moderator was a psychologist. I was like, this was the biggest blessing. I feel like and everybody needs to punch a bag for like a
Right,
good hour.
right, right.
Stuff like that. Retreats. And I also went into for 10 years I've been doing ayahuasca. So
Ayahuasca. Oh, I knew Rashida smiled when you said that. Go ahead.
ayahuasca, but that I mean, I understand it's not for everybody, but I come from indigenous roots, and so I followed that path. I think I just went into my own roots and who I was and the available help that there was for me in Puerto Rico. And there's just a lot of beautiful healing people, elders in Puerto Rico that I reached out to, and they introduced me to ceremony. They introduced me to Taino ceremonies in the center of the island. And then I was blessed to meet my Taita from Colombia. And
Mm.
he introduced me to ayahuasca. And he would make his own brew in Colombia and he would bring it to Puerto Rico. And that can be a whole nother podcast, what happens during ayahuasca, but
We'll bring you back. We're not afraid to bring you back. Don't worry.
but that was a body cleanse. That was body cleanse, mental cleanse, it was amazing. It's
Right.
amazing.
Right. I've heard about it and I'm on the precipice of giving it a shot. It really I think about it and it stimulates me how I'm like, oh, okay, that might be something good. But I'm glad you brought that up. I kind of feel like I've known a lot of Puerto Rican people, and you guys are so connected to the land and tradition and process. And I'm
Mm,
always so respectful of that when I meet Puerto Rican people in general, men, women.
mm,
They're always so kind to me, and they're always so like it's something about it, you know.
mm,
I even had a very strong relationship with a woman from Puerto Rico as well. That was just it's just amazing, you know. She was mixed with different things or whatever. I always feel that, right?
mm,
And I just want to like, I don't know, just give you praise as a Puerto Rican woman. You guys always seem centered in that space, and you kind of know what to do. You go back to your roots. Let me go to my people, link arms, get some
mm.
of this nature, get some of this specific liquid that you can only get in Puerto Rico. Eat this food. It's always so good. I just love it, and I miss being there. I'd like to go to Puerto Rico this year. So
You
talk about
you need to live in Puerto Rico for a good.
that. You're
I
not the
think you
first person
should.
that said that to me.
No, I just feel like Chase, I feel like you won't want to leave. I think you're just gonna be like,
Boricua, estamos
I'm gonna stay here. But yes,
yeah,
I was actually having a conversation about this yesterday with a friend of mine in Puerto Rico because living in different cities, I've lived in Puerto Rico, I've lived in Boston, I've lived in New York, I lived in LA. I understood now that I grew up different. Even though we are part of the United States, Puerto Rico is a whole nother country of its own. And
totally.
we are just, yeah, we are just, it's everything's so accessible. And
Mhm.
that's what I wish was more accessible for Americans, especially in the cities, in the center cities and all that. We grew up with nature. since we were kids. You know, we're going to the beach, we're going to the mountains, we're going to the
Back to
river,
nature. It's always back to nature in the mind, no
nature.
matter what we talk about. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. And and we know, like we know whenever we go home, the land knows that its child is back and it takes care of us.
Oh,
And
good point.
so every time I go to Puerto Rico, I always get healed because there's just something really grounding about just being in nature. It's just something that we all need. So coming into the city, I got sick. I didn't grow
Oh,
up in New York.
right.
I didn't grow up in New York. I didn't grow up in the middle of all these buildings and and the loud noises. And then there's something about New York that I really do respect, but at the same time, I do see that can be a little bit overbearing and can wear on the soul. It's just like you're in survival mode 24/7 because you can't really trust everybody in New York. And
It's crazy.
rightfully so. Everybody is so crunched up in there. So you kind of always got to be on your guard in a way. And I had never had to live in that way all the time, 24/7. So I saw my body, my hair was falling, like the stress and all that. It just hit me really, really, really hard. So going back to Puerto Rico and grounding myself it was a necessity. It's a must. So going back to health and nature and taking care of our bodies, always make sure that you take some time to ground yourself. Go to a park. I know you go to a park every
I go to
week.
parks all the time. Every day I'm in the park. You know,
Yes.
it's a grand gift. We have a big park in the middle of the concrete jungle to go in and touch a tree, take your shoes off and walk on the grass completely bare. These are little things that not everybody does, and it's amazing what it does. I do all that stuff. I don't even talk about it a lot to people. I talk about it here, some to my Instagram, but in general, I have 50 experiences in the park that I haven't told anybody about. But that nature thing, man, we could have just said that in the beginning. We would be good. Be like, all right, thanks. Go out in nature, get some trees, some water, and get your mind right. Thanks. We're out. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Yeah. And you got to make time for it. You got to go look for it.
that's
I,
it. You just said it.
Puerto Rico, it was just around me. I didn't realize I didn't have to schedule it. It was just around me all the time. So when I
Mm-hmm.
moved here, I was like, what's going on with me? Oh, I am not making time. I have to schedule this now. I'm like,
Right.
this day is untouchable for me. It's self-care day. I'm
Hmm.
going to the park. I'm gonna go hike in a trail. I'm gonna go to the beach. I'm gonna go read a book in the sand and just fall asleep on the sand. Falling asleep on the ground is it absorbs all of your energy.
I
I don't
love
know
it.
if you've ever
Yeah,
done that. If you fall
yeah,
asleep,
I have done it.
you wake up, you're like, oh, you feel like 10 pounds lighter. It's real.
I've done it on purpose and by mistake.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So it's happened that way. Um, can you tell everyone a little bit about what your music means to you and when that's going to come out and when we can all be blessed with that? Because I'm telling you guys, I'm biased because I've performed with Patricia and we're great friends. So don't ask me because I'll tell you all the stuff. But I want to hear it from you. What can people expect when they hear your music in general, and how do you think it will affect the world?
Um, my music is definitely a healing journey for me. It's just my story and what I've been through. And so I talk about a lot about things I've learned in Puerto Rico. I talk about social change and social justice. I talk about mental health. I talk about the hurricane, what Puerto Rico went through after Hurricane Maria and what I went through and how I got out of it. So it's a lot of storytelling and it's also just very energetic. It's really feel good. It's just really feel
Excellent.
good music.
Excellent. When will it be out?
This year.
Roughly?
This year. First single is coming out soon. It's already getting mixed. So it's gonna come out this summer. It's called Calma, and it's a song that I wrote right after Hurricane Maria. And I was because I was seeing the worst and the best in people when people were in survival mode after the hurricane. We had no power, no water, and I just saw the most beautiful things in Puerto Rico, like how
Right.
people helped each other. But I also saw the ugly stuff, you know, how people were desperate, were
Yeah.
stealing from each other, were being selfish. So calma means calm.
Yeah.
And the song really does exude like people listen to it and they're like, wow, I feel like
Right.
I need to play that. to just relax to it and just sleep to it and meditate to it. So that's kind of the vibe. That's
That's
the vibe.
hot. You want to give us a little piece of something? Like just a piece of a verse, not a lot. Just like the lyrics that come to your head right now from your piece that you want to, oh, I want to say this, like 3 or 4 sentences. Just sing us like a little something. You don't have to do a whole song.
Sure. So it goes. Me. Calma, no me ajores con prisa, calma. Calma, y solo calma. Llevas en tus ojos la vida plena. Y la llevas.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry.
Wow. Wow.
My chest is vibrating. Oh my God.
That's
See,
nice.
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I brought you here. That
Thank
right there is what I'm talking about. Tell everybody what your Instagram is.
My Instagram is Melo, MELO_GIA_music.
Oh, see, we went underscore. Now people are going to ask to put it in the chat. Hold on.
Yeah, let's put it in the chat.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you. Love sharing
I
this
don't know
morning.
why you did that just now to me. I don't know why you did that.
That's beautiful, man. Beautiful.
Woo!
Oh,
Woo!
thank you.
That's the stuff I like, though. See, this is the vibrational thing that we just. I don't know why I can't reach my chat. What's going on? MELO
underscore music.
We got it.
Music.
Yes, music, and then the same thing for my tattoo business, Melo_Gia_tattoo.
Okay, you got it.
Yes.
Perfect. Anyone have any questions? Oh, Rashida. This I knew Rashida wanted to say something. Please come on, please.
Thank you so much. This was great. You needed to come back because you just
come back.
something. You need to come back. And thank you so much for emphasizing and that stress. It's so important that we need to ground ourselves and find our path. And thank you so much for emphasizing ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is, I'm telling you, it's 4 or 5 times a year I do ayahuasca. So if anyone know what ayahuasca do to your whole entire being, everybody will do ayahuasca. Everybody will do ayahuasca. Thank you so much for emphasizing on that. Thank you. And don't forget, you got to come back.
I will. I would love to
thank
come
you
back.
so much for that music. Thank you so much for that music. It's so important. That message that it's with is so important. Thank you so much, Chase. Thank you so much, my dear brother King. Good job.
So I bring the best of the best. I can't do it any other way.
Tell me about it. Thank you.
Does anyone else have anything they would like to ask? Anything at all? Thought I saw another hand. Stan, did you have your hand up?
I did, but I had it in the chat room that I wanted to hear Pat perform something for us, and then you did it. So that's
got you. Yeah, I appreciate you. Call me up, brother. I had to talk to you, Stan. Call me up.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So, wow, this has been everything that I thought it would be.
Yeah, she's beautiful, man. She's an amazing voice.
And more, I know. Yeah, that's why I do it. So what are your last parting words for the Daily Huddle audience? If you would say something to send everyone off into this wonderful journey that we're on, what would it be?
Be patient. Be patient with everybody that you see today. Give love to yourself. Go to the park.
Go to the park.
We keep saying, and mindset is everything. That's the first step of health, is your mindset. And just, have a beautiful day, everyone.
Absolutely. So as we do in the Daily Huddle, and if you're joining us from YouTube, please subscribe to our amazing Daily Huddle space. We would love to have more of you here. But as we go away, we always leave with our tenets. First, to live out loud, louder than you have before. Love deeper than you have ever loved, really. Move the body, right? Move the body as much as possible today and every day. Laugh out loud like you've never laughed before. Allow your body to release all these incredible things that we have in our body. Also, give it a shot eating plant-based, right? Just give it a shot for a few days. Let your body just soothe for a little bit. Most of our anxiety and our cramping in our muscles and in our stomach and our intestine come from digestion, overloading our body, and then our body pulls us down. So plant-based, 2 or 3 days, give it a shot. Come back, tell us what you thought about it. You never know, right? Also, sleep, as we talked about sleep before. Oh my gosh, sleep is so important. I don't know how we get away with it sometimes. Us artists, right? We do it. We just like, oh, we don't have to sleep. Yeah, we have to sleep. So get more than 5 or 6 hours. Get more like 7 or 8 hours and make sure that you are in that space. And I forgot to say, give more than you've ever given before, of your heart, of your mind, of your possessions, of your time. People need it so much. And what you give winds up coming back to you. I'm not asking you to do it because of that. I'm asking you to do it because that is the system and the rhythm of life. And lastly, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Challenge your assumptions. Please challenge your assumptions. Your mind is giving you a lot of garbage sometimes. You got to make sure you challenge it. Thank you so much, Melo Gía, one of my favorites of all time. And I'm going to have you back for a part 2. So thank you so much for getting up at 6 a.m. on the other coast. I want to make sure everyone knows that.
Speaking of sleep, I'm gonna go right.
Speaking of sleep, so go back to sleep right now. Get some good sleep. And it was a pleasure. I'll speak to you soon. I'm always here for you. You know that. And say hello to Jonathan for me. That's my boy. Tell him I said what's up. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on the Huddle.
One love.
Great day.
Gracias, mi hermana. Gracias, mi hermana.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jade.
Yes, yes.
One love. Have a great day.
Indeed, indeed.